Thank you, Navneet. And if we record the cases, then we should see the cases. And I think we can learn because our knowledge is an excellent knowledge. Only thing is that we never apply our knowledge, and that causes the problem. And once there is a problem, then we think what to do. Now this is the another thing, that hypermature cataract. As we are in India, we get all types of hypermature cataract, and now those are classified into A, B, C, D. So those are 4 types of hypermature cataract. And here you can see the subcapsular cataract. I have been, now this can go to the maturity, and posteriorly there may be a, you can say, the defect, and that may trouble you when you are operating. You can see this is cataract. Then the hypermature cataract in the older patient. Here the larger highly sclerotic nuclei and thin overlaying layer. The layer is very thin, white cortical matter, liquefied matter. And the nucleus mobile in the capsular bag as in the Margagnan cataract. You can see this is the hypermature cataract. Then also you can see the hypermature cataract in uveitis. Because of the hydration, there may be a hypermature cataract, but with uveitis. So here the cataract with the uveitis. Then in the infantile, sometimes the patient is not treated, and you will get the hypermature cataract in these, and caused by the maternal rubella, or very often present at white cataract, and these are normally dealt with by the aspiration or by the lensectomy. Now the surgical consideration is the lack of any red reflex, you can't see. Then the effect on the ocular tissue of the advanced nature of the disease process. Because as it is hypermature, the zonules are also degenerated. So that is there. The nuclei in these eyes are often small and mobile, while some are brittle and others can be very hard. So such type of nucleus can be seen. Now tips to improve the visibility during the rhexis. You can operate from the temporal aspect, visibility is better. Tilt the microscope eyepiece towards you and create an oblique illumination. So slight tilt of the head. So that gives you the slit lamp image of the nucleus. Then the oblique non-coaxial light, use high magnification during the capsulotomy and focus accurate. Then overfill the anterior chamber with the viscoelastic substance. It should be more. And then if there is a extensive milky fluid obscuring using the view of the capsule, remove the cystitome and use the two-way Simcoe or whatever, or irrigation aspiration. Remove that fluid, so that then you can go for the rhexis. Currently you can use the dye, whatever ICG you can use, or Jensen Myelet or methylene blue or trypan blue, whatever the dye, you can use that dye. Then the hydrodissection, both in the softer, more liquid white cataract and those with the hard nuclei, hydrodissection is usually easily achieved as the cortex is rarely adherent. It is not adherent at all. Then do not use the great pressure on the syringe, or the soft lens matter under the nucleus will be washed out of the eye, and thus will not be able to provide a protection of the posterior capsule during the surgery. Now you have seen these are the 4 types of cataract. Type B, this is the cataract have nuclei that are often brunescent, and remember it is always in the posterior portion and difficult, and capsule is not protected by a good layer of the epinucleus. Also the zonules are often less strong than the normal because of the hypermaturity. And use of viscoelastics and use of modern phaco machines will be much useful. Now type C, this is the last group of cataract, rather more varied in the etiology from uveitis trauma, but they generally present a similar picture. The capsule is shrunken, often very leathery, and frequently with the calcified flakes on either surface. The best phacoemulsification technique is still some for the divide and conquer, preferably divide lens into 4 quadrants and then engage the apex of each quadrant and phacoemulsifying the quadrant deep in the capsular bag, furthest away from the corneal endothelium. And because it is a very hard and already the cortex is a liquid, so aspiration will be difficult, but you will see the so many deposition on the anterior and posterior capsule, so that you will have to polish. IOL implantation, you will have to again see the plate haptic lenses are not recommended as they may during the unfolding extend the breaks. A lens which unfold slowly and which is made from a material that causes minimum capsular contraction. And there are doubts about the status of any rhexis rim break, implant the IOL into the ciliary sulcus. Any IOL of sufficient length greater than 12.5 will suffice. The lens optic can then be pushed into the bag to give the stability. Now I will show you the one hypermature cataract. See this now? What I was telling is now here I am puncturing the, always puncture, never puncture horizontally. Slightly oblique puncture will not create a tear in the anterior capsule. So now you will see there is a fluid and I am going on to the Synco. This is the Synco cannula I am using, and with the Synco cannula I am removing the fluid. So whatever the fluid is, so that I am trying to remove, so that I can, visibility will be good and fluid will not come out, and then I can go for the rhexis. So rhexis is not done here. See here again, and now as the, now I will use the forceps. See here, and there is no any fluid, so no force from inside out, and you can go. But here also again you will have to see the capsule is sometimes fibrotic. Fibrosis may be there, or calcification you have seen that has tried to extend, but I brought it in. So again you will have to take care of the capsule whenever it is an hypermature cataract. Now here you can see I am operating with the, you can say the premium machine with a, you can say the very multinational company, the best machine called as this machine is the highest in that company. I don't want to name. And you can see what I was telling you in the phaco-dynamics, stroke length. Now here the stroke length of the machine is less, and because of that I am trying, but tip is not piercing inside the nucleus. And see, I am trying all type of techniques. I want to trench, I want to go for the chop or whatever, but the tip is not piercing inside. So this is, and now you can see the nucleus is rotating, and that may trouble, or there may be a posterior capsular rupture. So I am trying everything, but you can see the nucleus is rotating, but nucleus is not coming out. And in such situation you know what can happen to the surgeon. So this is what, and the machine I have tried for so many, because the person who is the having the agency of disease, he was standing, and now I have changed the tip. You have seen the machine is changed, as it is an institute, so other machine is ready. You can see how that is piercing inside. And always it is better to go for the horizontal chopping. Vertical chopping in such situation will not help you at all. Or that may create a problem, and you may see the nucleus in the posterior, it means in the vitreous. See now, and here there is nothing. It means no cortex, no epinucleus for your protection. Whenever you are doing, go it slowly, remove it slowly from the capsular bag, and then emulsify. See the nucleus, how this is wandering nucleus, and but there is another piece now, it's stuck in the incision zone. Again now I am lifting that piece and aspirating. So whenever, see now, again that is moving here and there, keep patience, and you have completed the surgery. Now this is the another type of thing. This is the Morganian cataract. See here. It is the same. I think
this video है ना?
Huh?
Same है ना?
Huh?
वही video था ना?
Same. This is the same, I think. I'll go for the next. Okay. See now, this is the Morganian cataract, and you can see the anterior chamber is shallow anterior chamber. You can see iris is near the cornea, and in such situation, whenever such type of cataract you see, as the Navneet was telling, the incision, if that is tilted down right or left, whenever the probe is going in, the movement of the probe, you have listened, it is 35,000 to 45,000, and these movements are straight, not on the other side. So now here again you will see the fluid is coming out, and that is leaking. So again I am removing the fluid. So this all fluid, now you can see I have made a just nick inside, and now I am trying. You can see the upper edge of the nucleus. Upper edge of the nucleus, because upper again you will see, I will go for the near the, see this now, and then the horizontal chopping. Vertically, this will not be, this is very difficult to chop vertically. So always go in the periphery and then chop. If you see now here, again, so horizontal chopping. So again you will catch it and go for the horizontal chopping. Again you will see this. See my chopper is supporting. The chopper is only you can say buttress or support as a epinucleus and as a cortex to the such type of cases. So your chopper should support. See this, as the small piece remain. The two pieces are just not separated by some flap there. The fiber. And the last piece. This is complete now this another case. I have shown this case last time in the I don't know AIS or DAS. 1 minute. This is the hypermature cataract. The patient came from the Uttar Pradesh. The mother of the IAS officer. One eye was operated in Bombay only, and there was no vision. The one-eyed patient, and patient was told that only phaco is possible by the private doctors. Otherwise, I am not against private doctors, but such type of thing we should not tell, and that can cause the problem. So if it is possible to go by SICS, you can go by SICS. Now see, because of the fibrosis, you can see there, I am unable to do the rhexis. And the case was referred back to the surgeon. He told that there is no machine with me, you can go with Dr. Lahane. I told this relative, I will give the machine. And later on the patient again came to me. And this I always tell the story. And now see, I am trying the rhexis. Now see, the new technology, the rhexis by the scissor. So this technology I am doing, I just kept the lunch and sitting here. So it is just humor in the ophthalmology. Again you see the fibrosis. And you see the fibrosis, I am trying on the right side, left side, by forceps, by needle, everything. And now lastly I have devised a new technology in the world that rhexis outside the eye. So I think nobody has developed this technology except me. So this is the rhexis I am doing outside the eye because of the fibrosis of the fibers, this capsule. And now again I have removed this fibrosis. So it is not a rhexis, but it is a rhexis in the fibrous material. Now my director, my dean, they were standing on my left side and right side. I was operating. They were going to write my CR. And that secretary was sitting outside. The mother, I was operating, and now see, this nucleus is gone upside down. And now I am trying. You can see I did something in the periphery. And I am trying, and now see now. You can see my heart and my heartbeat, and you can just consider. By doing this, I have reduced my life by 1 year. So my request to everybody is, whenever you are examining such high patient, don't tell that only phaco works. Tell that SICS works. So here I am trying, and again, see, by the God's grace, it is not a technology, it is not phaco-dynamics, it is not phaco, it is not any premier phaco, only the God that came to me, and He is helping me. See, in this situation, and you see the tremors again. Don't see only that, see my tremors. Can you see that? That tremors is because I am doing two phacos, phaco by the probe and phaco by my hand. So these two things is happening, and by these two things I am able to do, because it is a double phaco. So the nucleus is again emulsified, and by the grace of the God, I have implanted the lens, and patient is having vision still, and that. So this thing may happen, and thank you very much. So this is the hypermature cat.